Hey everyone, welcome back to the Top 100. Here we are at the top 10. All my dozens of fans can finally stop hounding me to release the top 10, by which I mostly mean Jimmy. Yeah, without further ado, because I know these can run long as I start to rave about how great these games are, let's start with number 10. Number 10 is the second highest new game to the list, so new this year, debuting at number 10. This is Hansa Teutonica. This is the big box. This is one of two games in my top 10 that I think might stretch the definition of what I would typically call the medium heavy games that I love. This one would stretch it in the opposite way of the other one. This one would stretch it, and this is maybe more just medium. Like, it's not super heavy. This is, in a lot of ways, Eurogame the Eurogame, but the Eurogames have this connotation with them where it's like, oh, you're doing your own thing and a little bit of player interaction, maybe. No, this is so much player interaction. The thing that this really does well is it rewards you for getting in other people's way, and you can't get that mad at other people for getting in your way because you expect it and you're getting in their way. Um, the main thing you do in this is you're putting out these little cubes to make these trading routes. But if you have to move someone else's cube, it costs you an extra cube to do it, and then you move their cube, but they also get another one. So if you get in people's way, you get twice as many guys, and then you can move around and go back to where you need to, upgrade your player board, get new abilities. Very cool. Every year when I go to Origins, which I'm hoping to go to this year, I pick a couple of games out of the library there that I'm like, these are the aspirational games I would love to be able to play, but like it can be hard to fit in a longer game at a convention. This was one of the two I did this past year. So shout out to Andy and Brian who played this with me. And I loved it immediately. Like, well, maybe not immediately. Like, it takes a little bit of like, how does this work? Oh, and then it clicks. And once it clicks, man, this game can go really long. Or can go really well. I have not played it yet without teaching it. Like, I haven't played it when I haven't had a new person to teach it to. Really interested in doing that because I'm thinking you could get through the game certainly in like an hour and 15 minutes or something like that with a 3 or 4 player game. But I'm curious. I don't know. I mean, it says 45 to 90 minutes, maybe 45 if you with 3 people. Yeah, great game, Hansa Teutonica. Also, the big box, pretty cheap. I got this, I think, used for $30, and yeah, well worth it. That's Hansa Teutonica. Number 10. Number 9 is the first of two games on this section of the list that have been on here the whole time. It started at number 1 back in 2020. And it was number 1 the next time, then 2, then 2, then 6, and now it's all the way down to 9, which is not far. Listen, I love this game still. This is a feast for Odin. I got this game. I won this game at a tabletop day at Games Unlimited, my favorite game store in town here. Shout out to Rich, who really wanted to win it, did not know me at the time, and then got really upset. And he's like, "Oh, that dude wanted it. I bet that guy's a jerk." And he was correct, but didn't know at the time. Yeah, A Feast for Odin. I have said in the past that Uwe Rosenberg is my favorite designer. I think that's probably still the case. I really like a lot of his games. I just played Black Forest the other day. It was really good. I played it twice now. But this is his magnum opus. Like, this is the best Uwe Rosenberg game. This is the best distillation of, I shouldn't say distillation of worker placement, because there's like a worker placement board with like 60 places to put your workers on it, but it all makes sense. And like, even the first time people are playing it, doesn't make sense at first, but by the end of the game they're like, yeah, I see how this works. I know all these worker placement spots, because the way they're laid out on the board is really, like, if not intuitive, it at least makes sense upon repeated rounds. You're doing this really nice polyomino puzzle where you have your estate here, and on your estate you're laying out all these pieces of all your stuff in the yard for some reason. I don't know what Vikings did. And then you have these other little boards you can grab. And so the first time you play the game, you're like, oh, okay, I'm just going to try and fill up this board. And you're like, oh my gosh, it's so hard. And then eventually you're like, okay, I'm going to get a couple islands and a couple houses and all these other boards, and I can fill up everything that I want to. Really great game. Really love this game. I want to play it more, and it takes a while, and that's one of the reasons why I don't. Number 9, Feast Road. Speaking about games taking a while, number 8 is, I would say, probably the second heaviest game on my top 100. This is new to the list. This is Civolution. So Civolution, the heaviest game being Voidfall, it's back over there. Um, Civilization is it's kind of a civilization themed game, though really the theme is you're like studying to be a god, and you're like doing this kind of like it's kind of like mythology and tech sort of thing as you're leading this civilization and showing how well you can do and satisfying your AI teacher. Weird stuff. This is from Stefan Feld, who I've certainly enjoyed a lot of his games before. I know Castles and Burgundy was on the list. Trajan was on the list. He has some other good games I've really enjoyed. This is head and shoulders above the rest of his stuff. Stefan Feld does a lot of point salad games where it's like everything you do gives you points. Some things give you more points. What gives you the most points? Civilization is kind of like that, but the scope of it is just so grand as you are upgrading your console. Well, let me show you the console here. I really can't take things out because there's so much packed into this box. It's very heavy. But so you have a main player board. You have these tracks on one side. Love tracks. Everyone knows that. This is like the way that the game progresses. There's event cards, there's new cards to buy, and you can slot those cards into your console. So here you have like all the resources, all the different actions you can take using dice, and then above is where you slot in all these cards that upgrade your civilization and give you special abilities. Very cool. Lots of different ways to play, lots of different strategies you could do. I think I've only played this game maybe 4 times. I need to play this more. But again, the problem, it takes a while. It really takes a while to play the game. Takes a while to teach and learn the game as well. That being said, this is on its way up. Like Feast Rodan, yeah, it's been slipping a little bit, still in the top 10. This might very well get higher than 8 in years to come. We will see. Hopefully, I get to play it a bunch more. That's number 8. Number 7 debuted at number 6 back in 2022. It's bounced around the top 10. Never been higher than 6, never been lower than 9. This is Tapestry. Tapestry, I also consider to be a very complicated game. This is civilization themed game, but it is in some ways tracks the game. Not as much as a game like Rise or something like that, but each turn what you are doing is you're going up one of these tracks along the board. I have all the expansions, and there's like a 5th track you can add and stuff like that. And then you have 2 different decks of cards that have all these special abilities, and then you have your own special civilization ability, and then you might have your own like capital city with its own special abilities. It's just the basic simplicity of it is pay a resource, move up, get whatever the bonus is. Like that's what you do on your turn. Your turns are in theory so simple, but because of all these other things that you add in, they can be truly insane. This is a game I don't consider myself to be super good at this game. I have won before. Usually I'm playing this with Mark and Jonathan usually wins. And it's truly a mark of how good of a game it is that I don't care. I just love playing the game. I love trying to figure out new ways to do things, trying to look for those moments that make you feel clever. Um, and there's just some truly wild combos you can pull off. Really love it for that. That's number 7, Tapestry. Oh, a lot of these games are so heavy. I hope this table doesn't collapse under me. That'd be a good end of the video. You just see everything going, ah, and I'm like, ah. Anyway, number 6. Number 6 was number 5 the last couple of times. So it's basically still about the same. This is Ark Nova. Ark Nova is shout out to Melissa who taught me this game. Ark Nova is Building a Zoo, the game. It is, gosh, it's another one of these medium heavy games, but the action selection mechanism in this is really what makes it shine through. Like it is one of those games with a big deck full of all different cards. They're mostly zoo animals, but they also might be people who work in your zoo or like features you add to your zoo. And that's cool. It's a cool theme. But then, in order to take an action, you have these 5 cards, and they're kind of on this little conveyor belt. Let me see if I can show you on kind of the bottom right here of these. So as you take an action, so you'd like take this card out, do the action, and then move it to the bottom and shift all the other ones up. That is just such a nice little dance of trying to ensure that you're doing actions when they're the most powerful, and that you don't get stuck with like a dud of an action on number 5. You want to be doing a lot of different things. Or there are some abilities that would let you take any of them and put them down to number one. So you might be like, oh, I'm not doing a lot of sponsors cards this game. I'll just shove that one back down to number one. Um, this is another one of those games where the ability to do well at this game, like the skill cap, is far above what I usually get to. My friend Ian is amazing at this game, but that's also because he plays on Board Game Arena like all the time, and I play a big mix of games. So shout out to Ian for having for he's also good at other games. Darn it, I'm just regardless. It's okay. I don't have to win games. Um, People think, oh, Kyle, you're so good at games. I'm pretty good at games, but I have several friends who are better at games than I am. I've said this before in other videos. Now it just sounds like it's actually bothering me, and I'll never beat the allegations. Oh well. There is another version. It's not a version, a sequel to Ark Nova, if you will, called Sanctuary that came out recently. That's supposed to be like kind of Ark Nova light. I did play that since I started filming this top 100. It might make it on the top 100. I like it. It's really doesn't scratch the Ark Nova itch, but it is a cool game in its own right. Regardless, number 6, Ark Nova. Number 5, put it down there. Number 5 is the other in this top 10, along with Feast Road, that's been on the list since I started doing this. It debuted at number 27. And the reason it debuted lower is because for a few years, I was only playing this game on Board Game Arena online, especially during the pandemic. Played it a lot with Mark and Jonathan mostly. This is Terra Mystica. It jumped up to number 4 a couple years ago. What was it? Number 7 last year. Number 5 now. It's always just right around here in the top 10. This is Factions, the game, in a lot of ways, in that your like the actual economy and the way that you spread out with all these chunky wooden pieces. It's very tactile, very nice. And then there's these tracks. I love tracks over here that you go up and stuff like that. The way that you spread out is really not that complicated of an economic puzzle, but every faction works a little differently. And so if you are going with the dwarves, instead of doing bridges, you can make these tunnels, and you can tunnel over to the other kind of terrain that you want. If you're going with the witches, you can fly around to different spots. The nomads, once you start with 3 dwellings instead of 2, and then once you have your sanctuary, you can like just terraform for free on your turn. Really powerful, like once per round. Um, I really just I love this game. I am so excited because I recently picked up the Fan Factions expansion. So there are 20 more factions that can be played with the game, especially if you also have the Ice and Fire expansion, which I do. And I'm excited to give it a whirl. Like some of them are designed by famous board game designers like Jamie Stegmaier, Isaac Childress. Some of them are just designed by people who love Terra Mystica. I think that's so cool, and I really want to try a couple of them. It is available on Board Game Arena, so I have played a couple of them there. But yeah, I've talked about Terra Mystica in the past. This is truly a great game. I have yet to play Gaia Project, which is the sequel, one of the sequels. There's like 3 sequels to this game. I played Gaia Project online. Very cool. It seems a little more complicated than this. I think Terra Mystica itself is just going to be like where I land, which is cool. That's fine by me. A lot of times a game comes out and it's popular, and then it gets a sequel, and people are like, "Oh, this is so much better than the original." Like maybe, but if you there's that nostalgia factor where I have such fond memories of playing Terra Mystica, especially during the pandemic, and like that adds to my enjoyment of it. So I don't think I'll ever move on to Age of Innovation. I do have Terra Nova, which is kind of like Terra Mystica Light. It's fine. It's not on the top 100. I think it was at one point. Anyway, that's Terra Mystica. Number 4. Ooh, we're in the top 4 now. Number 4 was number 10 last year when it was new. I think it was the only new one it was the only new one in my top 10 last year. And this year there's 2. This is SETI. Ignore this thing, which I guess I could have taken off, but like it's keeping a bunch of content in there. And shout out to Marianne and Sarah for buying me these bands, which I'm going to start using more, but like I knew I had to get one on this. SETI, last year, I just played it a few times, and I was like, this game is great. Have played it a bunch more now, can confirm, game is great. Not only is it great, recently they came out with the Space Agencies expansion, which is kind of like the Prelude expansion for Terraforming Mars. in that it jump starts the game. It doesn't make it shorter. It jump starts the game. So you get into the crunchy decision making like right off the bat. You also get factions. You get these space agencies that all have their different special abilities. And yeah, it takes what was already a great game and makes it like one of the best. It would not surprise me if this moves up and it's at number 4 right now. Theme is cool. You're looking for aliens, you find them. With the new expansion, they also came out with 3 new aliens with it, and I love all 3 of them. In the base game, there's really only 2 aliens that I like love, and then there's one that I think is good, and 2 that are like, they're fine. But yeah, the 3 new aliens they come out with, very cool stuff. Very, very cool. Yeah, this is a game I would love to teach to more people because it's exciting to teach the game, and then halfway through the game, not even halfway, like a third of the way into the game, there's this turning point where like the first of the alien species are discovered, and the game evolves, and like it adds to the puzzle that you've already like, okay, I'm starting to get this, and then you're like, whoa, new rules, and like you'll open up a little mini rule book and read new rules to people. That's so cool. This is this is another game like on its way up. Like it was number 10 last year, number 4 last year, could be higher. Who knows? Maybe next year I'll be talking about Terra Mystica and SETI up at the top. But as of right now, number 4. Oh man. Number 3 was 2 last year. It was 42 the year before that, which was when it first came on the list. And the only reason it was 42 is because I only played it once. And that was with Jimmy. So shout out to Jimmy. Here's Revive. Like it fell from 3 to 2, but like, come on, that's really nothing. Like this is an amazing game. Um, with tracks, let me start talking about some tracks. In Revived, like the theme is like post-apocalyptic, but like very far post-apocalyptic. Like you're coming out of the underground bunkers, rediscovering the world, and it's a bit of a light theme, honestly. But you're discovering things on this board, and you're putting pieces down, kind of like Terra Mystica in some ways, and that you're like expanding, trying to get to good spots before other people. And then also you have a player board with your own special abilities. You know I love factions, but you know I love more than factions is tracks. And the tracks here, there are these 3 interwoven tracks that unlock certain things. So it might be like, oh, if you get to 7 on the yellow track and 3 on the green track, then you get a new machine to slot into your larger machine with new special abilities. You can customize your playstyle in this game so much. Um, you have all these, it's like, it is kind of a deck building game. It's more of a hand building game. You have all these different cards you can add to your hand so you start getting more powerful there. You have these different little machines you slot in here so start getting more powerful there. You can build different buildings that give you different abilities. Like you have all sorts of different things that you can customize your playstyle to, or you can play in different ways each time and never get bored. There's an expansion of this. I haven't played it yet. I probably should, but honestly, there's so much content in this box. Like, you don't need it. You'll never get bored of it. That's Revive, number 3. Number 2, debuted on the list at number 2 back in 2022, and then it was 3, 3, 3, and it's back up to 2. This is Terraforming Mars, which I thought I'd try and put it up here too to make people think that I had it up there and that it wasn't in the top 10. Yeah, of course it's in the top 10. It's Terraforming Mars. I love this game. This box is full of 3D printed pieces that I got from somebody in a math trade that I can put out actual little greenery and little cities and stuff like that. So yeah, Terraforming Mars. Listen, it's here. It's great. This is my favorite version of the game with a big ton of a unique deck of cards. Everyone gets some of those. They have tags that interact with each other. It's really like, which of these cards do you want to buy and play so that you can optimize your strategy and go in different ways. If there's a downside to Terraforming Mars, it's that I've just played it a ton. It has some things in common with SETI. This one, though, gives you so many resources to play around with. SETI is very much about having a scarcity of research sources and just trying to claw another action that's going to help you in the future. SETI has 5 rounds. This one winds up having depending on how many people you play with, but 10 rounds or something like that. So in a lot of ways, the two have a lot of similarities, and I slightly prefer Terraforming Mars. I could see that flipping maybe at some point. Like they're so close. I rank these games in the top 100, right? But like, I love games. Unsurprisingly, that's a very like obvious thing to say for someone who's filming their top 100 games and sitting in the midst of their like 400 or so game collection. Like, I love games, and like any of these in the top 10, top 13, even heck the top 50, like they're so good. They're so much fun. And yeah, you might not like it, but like I've taught Terraforming Mars to people who were not into gamery games that much, and they enjoyed it. Um, like it's very good. There's a lot of expansions. Prelude 2 came out recently. That one's pretty cool. They're coming out with a legacy game. I don't think I want it. Who needs it? Like, base game's great. That was number 2, Terraforming Mars. Number 1, no surprise. So I started doing this list in 2020. Hadn't played it then. In 2022, I did it. It started at number 3. I did a little top 10 update in 2023 where it jumped up to number 1. So Planting Feast for Odin. And then 2024 is number 1. Last year is number 1. It's number 1 again. It's Dune Imperium. I love this game. I love deck building games. This is my favorite deck building game. I love worker placement games, not as much as deck building, but I do. This is also a worker placement game. It is not as much of like a true worker placement game as Feast for Odin. It's really not like a true deck builder as much as something like Dominion. It is its own interesting mix. Um, I I like this game, the base game. I like it with any mix of the expansions. Um, I do like the second game, Dune Imperium Uprising. I've enjoyed playing that like the one time I played it. But again, this is another case of like a sequel, like what happened with Terra Mystica and Age of Innovation. I don't need the sequel. I have the base game. I really enjoy it. I'll just keep playing that. Um, at some point, I will probably pick up the new expansion for this, though only about 75% of the content works with this game. Like, and it's frustrating to pick up some of the content that only works with Dune Imperium Uprising. Doesn't matter. Like, it's cool. It's out there. I would like some new leaders. Yeah, sure. I do play this game online sometimes. The app is very good. Less so now since my son was born. Um, but yeah, lots of fond memories playing this with a lot of people. I think this is the first game I ever played with Kevin. So Kevin, congrats! I think you get the last shout out on the top 100. Um, yeah. You know what I really just want to do right now, which I'm not going to because I have other things that I really need to do. I just want to like call up some people and be like, "Hey, you want to play Dune Imperium? It's so good. What a great game." That's number 1. Thanks for following along, everyone. I appreciate that you came with me on this journey. Um, give me a comment down below if you have a question for me. If you're like, where did this land? Why didn't this land on the top 100? Have you played this? If not, you should, especially since you just watched my top 10. Like, comment with some games that you don't think I've played that you think I would enjoy. I certainly have some kind of in this weight category that I still need to play, like Sulkin, the Mayan Calendar, Marco Polo. Maybe that's a little bit lighter. I don't know. But like, let me know what you think I would like. And I'll tell you. Maybe I played it and hated it, and I'll tell you that. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know when I'm going to do another one of these videos because it's harder to do now with a kid, and my time is sometimes better spent elsewhere for sure. But I enjoy doing them. So thanks for watching, and yeah, love you all. Bye.